Okay, well, prior to the war with Hamas, everyone was expecting Saudi Arabia to be the next in line to sign up for normalization with Israel via the Abraham Accords. But in something of a plot twist, it appears Indonesia is ready to recognize Israel. The world's most populous Muslim country has been one of Israel's harshest critics, but it wants to join the OECD. That's the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. And for that, it needs OECD member Israel's blessing. Well, joining me for more on that, Fredman is Director for Israel at the Abraham Accords Peace Institute and a Senior Fellow at the Misgav Institute for National Security. Good to see you, Asher. Thanks for joining us. And just when you thought the Abraham Accords had kind of hit a wall, we've got these reports now that Jakarta is ready to normalise. I don't think anyone saw that coming today.
Good evening, and it's great to be back with you. The Abraham Accords have continued on the strategic, diplomatic, and economic levels. On the people-to-people level, we've seen slowing down. Now, there was talk with Indonesia. There are numerous areas of cooperation with Indonesia stretching back decades, both in the security and the military sphere, but also in the water security and the innovation and the agricultural spheres. Indonesia was always on the radar. The news from this morning and various reports that we've been hearing over the last few weeks of a possibility for ties are certainly a welcome development.
If this does go ahead, Asher, wouldn't it just be purely transactional normalization in exchange for OECD membership, or could we over time see it lead to some form of cooperation?
I think there's quite a lot of potential for cooperation. In fact, the recently elected president of Indonesia, Subianto, is someone who's known to have had contacts with Israelis over the years. Other members of the Indonesian leadership, Israelis are able to get visas and to travel to Indonesia. There's also other trends. There's a strong Islamist stream in Indonesia that opposes ties with Israel. But I think the potential, the OECD may be the trigger or the excuse or the immediate cause, but the potential for deeper cooperation certainly exists.
What about the jewel in the crown of normalization, Saudi Arabia? Are you still hopeful, as someone who's been watching and worked on the Abraham Accords for many years now, are you still hopeful the kingdom will sign on and recognize Israel?
I am hopeful. I think it may happen in stages. With the UAE and Bahrain and Morocco, the move from non-normalization to full normalization was relatively quick, from the making the ties public. With Saudi Arabia, we may see increased trade. We may see certain areas of Saudi Arabia where Israelis are more openly involved. We may see more open defense cooperation. It may happen step by step. Of course, an important factor will be the commitment and the involvement of the American administration, the current administration, whoever leads the next administration, and whether or not that administration tries to condition Saudi-Israel ties on conditions that are unacceptable to Israel with regards to the Palestinians, or whether, like the Abraham Accords, it takes the approach of win-win mutual cooperation and war and peace for its own sake.
Asher Fredman, thank you very much. Great to talk to you.
Great to talk to you too. Thank you.